These last few weeks have been incredibly complicated for all of us around the world. It all started really on the other side of the planet, and in a very naive way, we thought that it was just never going to reach us, that this was never going to be part of our society. We were never going to be affected by it. I myself am guilty for having those thoughts, but it had to hit where it hurt the most. It had to hit the sports world for us, or at least for me, to take it a little bit more seriously. I say this with great embarrassment, I would say, because it had to really burst my bubble or it had to interfere with my everyday life so I can take it a little bit more seriously. This virus going around, it's deadly, man. It's lethal, and it's one of those things that should really unite us as humans. It doesn't matter what race we are or where we come from or who we are. This should really bring us together. And moments like these is when humans should become one. Because I mean, it's messing with the human race. It's messing with the people. And now what we have to do is come together and fight against it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's us against this damn virus thing. So it's incredible, man. It sucks. It sucks, but we can either cry about it or we can do something about it. And since a lot of these people, majority of the world is isolated now, they can't leave home. It's a time to get creative. It's a time to do some cool stuff, to work on stuff that you haven't had time to do when your routine is kicked into full gear 100%. This is the perfect time to do something creative, something that you've been planning for a long time. As for me, I can tell you personally what I'm going to do. I'm going to be posting a lot of VMFC content. Veterans Minimum still going strong, even though there's no football, there's no basketball, there's none of this. There's still a lot to talk about. And our ultimate goal here at Veterans Minimum is to make sure that you people are entertained and you guys have something to talk about and you guys have something to look forward to. And if we have to talk about, the best games of all time in any sport, if that's a conversation that's going to make you guys distract yourselves for a little bit, so be it. That's what we're going to do. But yeah, the coronavirus is very serious in Europe, of course. It messed with the entire schedule. So now the Euro is going to be played in 2021 next summer. In South America, the Copa America is going to be played in 2021 as well. So the schedules are all messed up, but the main priority here is definitely the health of the people. So look out for one another. Let's take care of each other. Let's take care of ourselves. And more importantly, let's smile, because if we do this without a smile, then it's going to be miserable the whole time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to VMFC. All right, what's happening, everyone? Welcome to another episode of VMFC. Thank you all for joining me. This feels like a fireside chat, an FDR fireside chat. I'm like in the corner in my living room, and I'm speaking to the masses, and by the masses I mean the 20 people that constantly watch VMFC. I really appreciate you all. But anyway, like I mentioned, no sports. Not much is really going on in the soccer world right now, so this forces me to put my creative cap on, and I have to get very, very thoughtful, and I have to be very smart with what I am going to be talking about in these next few weeks, potentially next few months. So on Saturday night, when I figured, we're not going to see soccer for the next few weeks, right? I made a list on my phone of topics that I can talk about. And I kid you guys not, I have content for the next 4 months. If I were to upload once a week, I have content for the next 4 months. So we are chilling. All right. The first topic that I selected, This one is going to be very interesting because we're getting close to the summer transfer window. I don't know how that's going to change in these next couple of weeks. The transfer window might be open a little longer than usual, but again, that's understandable. Schedules changed. I came up with a list of 10 players that I think should transfer teams this summer. Out of those 10, I picked 5, so the 5 are the ones that I'm going to be talking about. This is the criteria to make it onto my list. You made it onto this list if you either are too good for your team and you need to go to a better team, or if you aren't cutting it, the coach isn't putting you in, you're not getting enough minutes. That's the criteria to make it onto my list. I have it written down on a piece of paper. As always, got to be prepared. I pride myself on being very, very prepared, like I said last episode, and I wasn't very prepared. But anyway, again, I have a list of 10. I'm gonna mention the honorable. Here I go again. I can't speak English. The honorable mentions are gonna be mentioned. I can't speak. Before number 1. So let's start off with number 5. At number 5, I have the Colombian midfielder James Rodriguez. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember how good he was in that 2014 World Cup when Radamel Falcao went down with an ACL injury, and everyone thought that perhaps Colombia's chances of being of doing good in the 2014 World Cup were done? James Rodriguez is like, "Don't you fear, I am here." And he showed off and showed out, earning him a spot in Real Madrid the following season. And then since then, it's just been injury after injury after injury. And then he's had personal issues, and he just hasn't been able to make the cut at Real Madrid ever since that 2014-2015 season. Then he goes on to Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich didn't want him, so they send him back to Real Madrid. And now at Real Madrid, he rarely gets any minutes. Again, it's I don't know. A lot of people say that it's Zinedine Zidane's fault. He doesn't like James Rodriguez. Well, okay, I guess. But I think you should probably blame the player too. He's the one that might not be practicing as hard as he should be. But anyway, I think it's time for James Rodriguez to go to a different team. He needs a new landscape to look at. He needs something different. He just needs something to spark that extra creativity that he lacks sometimes at Real Madrid. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Wolves, were in pursuit for James Rodriguez in January. Can you imagine him in that team feeding Raúl Jiménez 2-3 times a game? Raúl Jiménez averaging like a goal a game in the Premier League. That would be awesome. James Rodriguez has to leave Real Madrid. At number 4, I have a French defender, French center back from RB Leipzig, DAYOT UPAMECANO. UPAMECANO, excellent player. He's likely going to play a very important role in France's Euro 2021 now squad, if all goes well. He's been playing very good for RB Leipzig. He does a little bit of everything. He's quick. He's very athletic. Of course, defensively, he's very good, well-positioned. But I think RB Leipzig might be a bit too small for him. RB Leipzig might not be his best option. So it might be time. It could be time. Maybe July, maybe August. He will be departing RB Leipzig, depending on how this season plays out. Of course, there's a lot of factors that can play into him staying or leaving. But if he were to leave, Arsenal would be an excellent fit for UPAMECANO. They embraced the French player at Arsenal, or at least they did when Arsene Wenger was there. And they still do it right now. They have a few very good French players, and one that's not so good. But they still embrace the French player, and I think UPAMECANO would do very, very good at Arsenal. And the exposure you get from playing in the Premier League is second to none. So I think DAYOT UPAMECANO, 21 years old, he should leave. He should leave RB Leipzig and go into the Premier League, get the exposure there. At number 3, I have DAYOT UPAMECANO, one of DAYOT UPAMECANO's teammates, TIMO Werner. the German striker or the German attacker. He plays everywhere. He might be one of the best young players in the world, one of the best young attackers in the world. His options are really unlimited. Barca needs a striker. Real Madrid's going to need a striker at some point as well. Bayern Munich is always an option for the young German talent. And Liverpool. Liverpool has kind of flirted with the idea of bringing in Timo Werner and potentially letting Roberto Firmino go, which, I mean, I guess you're not really losing in this situation. But Timo Werner, what he does is really it just has no it's priceless. It's priceless for what RB Leipzig, what he does for RB Leipzig. It is really incredible. He scored a lot of goals. He plays in any position. He can play as a striker. He can play out on the wings. He's very lethal in front of goal too. He has this sense that whenever he's in front of goal, he's not going to miss. So that's something that Liverpool would definitely want to have, especially after their elimination in the Champions League. A lot of those chances that they missed against Atletico Madrid. I don't know, Timo Werner, would he have scored those? Who knows? But it is what it is, right? I think he would be a very good fit for Liverpool. And Timo Werner, he outgrew his spot at RB Leipzig. At number two, I'm going to have a very controversial take. At number 2, I have Harry Kane. Harry Kane, in my opinion, one of the best Premier League strikers, maybe of all time. I would say maybe of all time. Definitely for me right now, when healthy, the best striker in the Premier League. No doubt about it. I had an argument with my brother who's probably listening right now because he's right next door. He told me that Harry Kane isn't that good. I haven't talked to him since, but I'm just kidding. He's probably going to come out right now. I understand some people say that he's not as good as we might think he is, but I think he is an excellent player. And I think he might be too good for Tottenham. He might have outgrown Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham Hotspur might not be his best bet right now, especially with all the turmoil going on, especially with Jose Mourinho calling out players. Can you imagine if Harry Kane goes like on a 3-game cold streak, doesn't even get a shot on target? Jose Mourinho is going to be like, well, this guy sucks. What can I do with these players? And Harry Kane's going to be like, well, come on, dude. So I think it might be time for Harry Kane to leave Tottenham. I know it's one of his goals in life, not just professionally, but in life in general, to get a Premier League title with Tottenham, a team that gave him a chance, a team that believed in him. I totally understand that. But Harry Kane has given his best years for Tottenham to Tottenham, and Tottenham has not given him any titles back. So what can he do? He's really going to turn into the next Alan Shearer. He could turn into the next Alan Shearer, where he stays with one team and he's an idol there, but then no one else recognizes him as one of the greats. So it would suck because the talent is there. He's a lethal goal scorer, excellent vision, just a great player, brilliant penalty taker as well. Harry Kane, one of the best strikers in the world, the best Premier League striker right now, and one of the best Premier League strikers of all time. The numbers say it. The numbers show it. Even, let's just say, for example, I don't know, he goes to Real Madrid. If he goes to Real Madrid, which I guarantee you, if reports start coming out that Harry Kane is not happy at Tottenham, Real Madrid is going to be the first one to pick up the phone and to call Tottenham. If he goes over to to Real Madrid, if Harry Kane goes over to Real Madrid and he becomes like one of the best goal scorers for like 2-3 seasons, then he's going to debunk that myth that British players don't do good outside of the Premier League. So that's going to be very interesting. I think Harry Kane, if I was him, I'd be contemplating every single option. I'd be very open to anything that is presented to me. And ultimately, I'm just going to do it to win some titles. That's it. Robin van Persie did it when he left Arsenal. He went to Manchester United next season, becomes one of the top goal scorers in the Premier League, and wins the Premier League title. There's nothing wrong with this. There's literally nothing wrong with any of that. Honorable mentions. I have a few honorable mentions here before we get to number one. Irving Lozano, he went into Napoli. He went into this season as Napoli's most expensive signing of all time in their history. It's not panning out. He's not getting any minutes. I think he should go. What the hell's going on with the light? I don't know what the hell's going on with the light. Anyway, Leroy Sané, underappreciated at Manchester City. He was going to leave. Had he not torn his ACL, he was probably going to leave like in August. He was going to go to Bayern Munich. And now, well, his transfer has been delayed a year, and he's probably leaving. He's probably going to go. And Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is a guy that has been doing very good since like 2016, 2017 when he was like a teenager. And now he has options. He has a lot of options. And he will probably be going to Bayern Munich. I mean, again, it's a theme that young German talent goes to Bayern Munich and then they win titles right there. All right. At number one, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Number one, Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho has to leave Borussia Dortmund this summer. He's not going to win much at Borussia Dortmund. Well, he hasn't really won anything at Borussia Dortmund. So it might be time for him to leave. He is clearly the best player, talent-wise. He's the best player that Borussia Dortmund has right now. He sparks that entire attack whenever he's playing. He's so good. His game just flows so well. What a great player. What a great talent. A British player doing good outside of the Premier League. So there he goes, debunking that myth that British players don't do good outside of England. Jadon Sancho has a lot of options. Chelsea's one of those options. Manchester City is one of those options. But I think he's probably going to go to Manchester United, if anything. Manchester United is building something. It looks like now that they're building something. Bruno Fernandes has sparked that team. And I've been saying spark a lot in this episode. But Bruno Fernandes has become that one piece that Manchester United needed to get the ball rolling. And now imagine if you bring on Jadon Sancho for next season. Manchester United is going to be a threat wherever. And if they make, I'm pretty sure it's likely that they're going to make it to the Champions League. Should this season be able to be played out, Manchester United's going to have a Champions League spot. If they do that, they're going to be very dangerous with Bruno Fernandes, with Jadon Sancho, with Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial. And maybe even Jack Grealish, who I completely left off of this list for whatever reason. I forgot about him. I forgot about Jack Grealish, but he could join Manchester United as well. Jadon Sancho, I mean, he has all the makings of being Manchester United's next poster boy. He will do very good right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this episode of VMFC. A bit of a different background, a little different setup, more space, that's for sure. Much more comfortable. I can like lean back and just feel much more comfortable, you know? So, yeah, all right. Well, this is what it's going to be like for the next few weeks. It's going to be a lot of evergreen content that you guys can go back and like watch in like 2 or 3 years from now. You'll be like, hey, I remember when we were all quarantined and this is what I was watching. And I'm probably going to do that as well. You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Alex Pérez FC. If you have any suggestions for games that I should be watching, like replays or like podcasts that I should be listening to, or a book that I'm not going to read a book, or like a documentary that I should be watching or something like that, please let me know. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/veteransminimum. Follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at Veterans Minimum. Sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/Veterans Minimum. $1 a month gets you exclusive content, merch, a whole lot of stuff. That'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.